Donald Trump appears to be gaining significant traction in early voting data as Americans head into the final hours of this critical election. Early voting numbers across the country suggest a highly competitive race. Still, Trump is showing an advantage in several swing states, indicating that his path to victory may be more apparent than many think. Starting with the national numbers, nearly 70 million Americans have already cast their ballots. Among these early voters, Republicans make up 40%, with Democrats slightly ahead at 41%, while 19% are classified as other or independent voters. Breaking down early voting by gender, women have the edge at 53%, while men represent 44% of early voters. When it comes to voting methods, in-person voting is slightly more popular at 55%, while 45% have opted for mail-in ballots. The focus, however, intensifies when we look at swing states like Georgia, where early voting is already breaking records. Over 4 million votes have been cast in Georgia alone. Republicans lead early voting with 48%, while Democrats are at 45%, and other parties make up the remaining 7%. Gender demographics are similar to the national pattern. Women make up 56% of early voters in Georgia, while men represent 44%. Polling in Georgia reflects Trump's growing support. According to Atlas Intel, Trump holds a narrow lead with 48.8% compared to Harris's 47.2%, giving him a 1.6-point advantage. The Rasmussen Reports poll is even more favorable to Trump, showing him at 51% support, a solid 5-point lead over Harris's 46%. Third-party candidates and undecided voters each represent 2% in Rasmussen's polling. CNN's polling in Georgia also places Trump ahead, albeit by a smaller margin of 1 point, with 48% to Harris's 47%. Real Clear Politics has Trump at 49.3%, giving him a 2.6-point lead over Harris, who trails at 46.7%. The Silver Bulletin survey also shows a Trump advantage, with him at 49% and Harris at 47.5%, a 1.5-point lead. 538's polling aligns closely, giving Trump 48.6% support to Harris's 47.1%, again, a 1.5-point lead. Moving to North Carolina, where more than 3.8 million votes have already been cast. Republicans have a slight advantage in early voting, comprising 34% of the turnout, while Democrats are close behind at 33%, and another 33% falls under independent or other voters. Women make up a substantial 55% of the turnout, with men at 44%. Polls in North Carolina show Trump with a consistent lead. According to Atlas Intel, Trump is ahead with 50.7% of the vote compared to Harris's 46.7%, giving him a solid 4-point lead with third-party candidate Stein capturing 0.7% support. Rasmussen Reports also places Trump in the lead, with 50% support compared to 47% for Harris, maintaining a 3-point gap. Trafalgar Group's numbers are similar, giving Trump 49.4% support to Harris's 46.2%, creating a 3.2-point lead, while 3.3% of respondents remain undecided. Real Clear Politics shows Trump at 48.8%, with Harris trailing at 47.3%, reflecting a 1.5-point lead for Trump. Silver Bulletin's poll has Trump at 48.7% and Harris at 47.5%, giving him a narrower 1.2-point lead. 538 data is consistent with these findings, showing Trump at 48.4% to Harris's 47.1%, a lead of 1.3 points. In Nevada, over 1 million early votes have already been cast, with Republicans comprising 39% of the turnout, outpacing Democrats at 35%, while 26% of voters fall under independents or other parties. The gender breakdown in Nevada is nearly even, with men at 45% and women at 44%. The polling in Nevada presents a competitive landscape. According to SPNR, Trump stands at 50.2%, a 6-point lead over Harris's 44.2%. Emerson College, however, places Harris slightly ahead with 48% compared to Trump's 47%, giving her a 1-point edge. Rasmussen Reports supports Trump's position with a 49% to 47% lead over Harris, while 3% of respondents remain undecided. Real Clear Politics shows Trump at 48.7% to Harris's 47.2%, a 1.5-point advantage. The Silver Bulletin indicates a nearly tied race, with Trump at 48.2% and Harris at 47.9%, showing just a 0.3-point lead for Trump. 538 reflects a similarly slim margin, with Trump at 47.7% compared to Harris's 47.3%, a slight 0.4-point advantage. In Arizona, early voting trends suggest a potential substantial edge for Donald Trump. With nearly 2 million early votes cast, Republicans lead the early turnout with 41%. Democrats follow at 34%, and 25% of voters are classified as independents or affiliated with other parties. Polling in Arizona also reflects Trump's momentum. Noble Predictive Insights puts Trump at 48% compared to Harris's 47%, while third-party candidate Stein holds 2%. Atlas Intel gives Trump a more substantial lead at 50.5% to Harris's 45.9%, marking a 4.6-point advantage, with Stein drawing 1.1%. Rasmussen Reports similarly shows Trump with a slight lead at 48% to Harris's 46%, with 3% supporting third-party options and 5% undecided. Real Clear Politics has Trump at 49.2%, giving him a 2.3-point lead over Harris's 46.9%. The Silver Bulletin echoes this margin, with Trump at 49% and Harris close behind at 46.9%, a 2.1-point difference. 538's data shows a similar picture, with Trump at 48.8% and Harris at 46.7%, holding a 2.1-point lead. The latest polling from the Washington Post provides a close look at swing states, where Trump and Harris are neck and neck. In Nevada, Harris leads by less than 1 point. Pennsylvania is another nail-biter, with Harris leading by less than 1 point. Notably, Trump has gained 0.5 points since last week. In North Carolina, Trump holds a narrow lead of less than 1 point. Wisconsin, however, shows Harris with a 2-point lead. Georgia and Arizona both show Trump leading by 2 points. In Michigan, Harris maintains a 3-point lead, giving her a slightly larger, but still tenuous advantage. But what about the national polls? According to Atlas Intel, Trump leads nationally with 49.1% support, compared to Harris's 47.2%, giving him a 1.9-point advantage. Stein, a third-party candidate, captures 1%. TIPP Insights presents a dead heat, with both Trump and Harris locked at 48%. Rasmussen Reports gives Trump a stronger lead, showing him at 49% compared to Harris's 46%. Third-party candidates hold 3%, and 2% of voters are still undecided. Turning to Electoral College simulations, 538 shows a near-even split, with Trump projected to win 50 out of 100 times and Harris winning 49 out of 100. The Economist's projections are similarly close, but currently favor Harris, winning 52 times out of 100, and Trump 48 times. Their latest forecast gives Harris 270 electoral votes, just enough to win, compared to Trump's 268 votes. This is a recent shift, with Trump down 4 points and Harris up 4 points since yesterday. Decision Desk HQ leans toward Trump, projecting a 54% chance of victory for him, translating to an estimated 276 Electoral College votes versus 262 for Harris. Market-based odds from Polymarket also favor Trump, giving him a 59.5% chance of winning compared to Harris's 40.6%. Real Clear Politics polling averages place Trump narrowly ahead nationally, with 48.4% compared to Harris's 48.1%, a mere 0.3-point difference. In their Electoral College projections, Trump is estimated to secure 287 votes to Harris's 251, positioning him for a likely win if these numbers hold steady. So who will emerge victorious on this Tuesday? As we approach Tuesday, all signs suggest that Donald Trump is in a solid position to secure a historic victory. The polling data, early voting numbers, and betting markets indicate growing support for his message and policies, particularly in critical swing states. What do you think? Let me know in the comments.